What's going on, friends? Logan Myerz here for Cinephellas.com, and today we're going to be talking about the second season of Ozark. Huge fan of the show. I did a review of the first season right here on our channel. Got a lot of great feedback, comments from you guys, and hopefully you guys had a chance to watch this. 10 episodes up on Netflix right now. It came out a few weeks ago, just finally getting around to talking about it. We ended up binge watching it in a few days over Labor Day weekend and really had a blast with this. Again, we have Jason Bateman returning as Marty Bird, the financial advisor that launders money, cleans dirty money, his family's in the Ozarks, ties with the cartel, and opening up a lot of new characters this season. So let's talk about it, shall we? So most of you are familiar with Jason Bateman's work. I'm not going to go through the list, but lots of great TV shows, films. In this show, he's very serious, and this is more like a dramatic role. He's very dull and really shows no emotion in these first two seasons. He wants to clean this money and make sure he protects his family from what's out there and the people that are against the birds. So we had the Snells returning as well, as you remember from last season, and they make the heroin, making money, and working with Marty. It sets up a lot of conflicts and storylines between them and the birds and also the Mexican Cartel. And this time around we have Janet McTeer. She's introduced this season as Helen Pierce. She looks a lot like Jane Lynch. I don't know, just like her facial features and the way she pronunciates her dialogue and everything like that. She has a very bitchy personality, the way that she goes about things, and she's always like, my client, being the Mexican Cartel, doesn't approve of this, and they're always watching Marty, his every move throughout the season. So with the cartel, watching Marty's every move and this character of Helen Pierce, Marty doesn't really know who to trust. He's kind of at wit's end at this point, and that's why he brings Wendy into the picture more of making ties and working with the local Missouri government. They basically want to create this casino, and it brings in a lot of different characters, and their whole goal is, after they develop and start this casino, they're out of there. They want to get the hell out of Missouri. They want to get out of the Ozarks, and they want to get overseas, change their names, witness protection, They have 6 months. Their goal is to get this casino up and running. They have to bypass the local Missouri government because they can only have 13 casinos in Missouri, and this will be the 14th. So they have to jump through some hoops to get that situated and make it legal. Introduces another character, Charles Wilkes, which is, a big head honcho in Missouri in terms of politics and things like that, and knowing the right people and getting things done, even though it's not always legal. When it comes to politics, not everything's legal, so they have to do some things here and there that are a little corrupted, but they get the job done. So that introduces his character. Him and Wendy kind of have a little fling. I'm not going to say much about that, but you can see that they have a liking for one another, and Wendy is a more pivotal part of this season. She's on the rise. In the first season we saw Jason Bateman's character kind of like a Walter White Heisenberg, rising to Heisenberg, from good to bad. And this season around, Lauren Linney's kind of like a Claire Underwood from House of Cards, seeing her rise as this queen and running the family, and the story is more focused on her and making sure that she gets the job done. And the kids in this season are really fucking annoying. More importantly, and the kids this season around, the bird kids, Charlotte, the oldest one, she's the rebellious teenager. She doesn't listen to her parents. She steals money from her parents, which is the cartel's money, which is not going to look good for the Bird family, stealing money from the cartel. And just throughout the season, she's just a total bitch, and she wants to get emancipated. She wants nothing to do with the family. If she gets emancipated, the cartel's still going to be coming after them, and it's not going to look good for her. In terms of the youngest son, Jonah, he's fantastic this season. He's like a Marty Jr. He creates some offshore accounts. He's cleaning some money, moving it to offshore accounts, just like his dad, so his dad's kind of proud of him, and he's really cool this season. But overall, with all these different characters with the cartel, introducing the Kansas City mob, which is another point in this season. There's a lot of bad guys out there, and it's not looking good for the Bird family. Marty's not feeling too confident about this. He wants to make sure that they get this casino up and running, and they hightail it out of there. They want to get out of there because they're all going to die if they stick around. So there's a lot at stake here. There's a lot of stress. You can kind of see them all deteriorating away as a family. When they're all kind of a tight-knit group. This season, they're all falling apart in all different ways. They're kind of losing their sanity and not knowing who to trust, and trying to figure out the best way to get this casino up and running before they need to get out of there so they can survive. But one of my favorite characters in the first season, and especially the second season, the women are more focal points, have had larger roles in the second season, is Ruth Langmore, played by Julia Garner. She's fantastic in this season. Marty trusts Ruth a lot more, and he's given her more responsibility, like running the strip club and laundering the money and things like that. But with that being said, you know, with Ruth having a lot more to do with this season, and she's just a fucking badass, and she doesn't put up with anybody's bullshit. Any of the men, any of these tough guys, she will knock them down and she won't take any of it. And that's what I loved about her character. And this season, her father returns from prison. You know, he's the ex-convict and he's a total scumbag, but he's the parent, he's the father, so he has a way of controlling Ruth and doing things that she really doesn't want to do, you know, with her ties with Marty, and she's making good money. You know, he's an ex-convict. He's thinking like, well, this guy's a millionaire. He's laundering money. Why don't we just steal it all? So it creates a lot of conflict between, you know, the father and daughter and her cousins, the rest of the Langmores. But eventually you see what happens to his character. He's a guy you definitely don't like from the beginning. You know something's deeper and darker behind this guy, and he only cares about money. He's up to his old tricks of what got him into prison in the first place. And of course, one of the biggest villains from the first season is back, Roy Petty from the FBI. He's been investigating, he's been undercover in the Ozarks trying to take down Marty Byrde and trying to catch him in the act, but he's really coming up short in this season especially. So he's trying to do whatever it takes to get the evidence to take down the Byrdes and show that they're involved in illegal activities. And he's definitely a character that you really hate. He plays this FBI agent perfectly. He's such a scumbag. You don't like him, just the way that he smiles and he knows it all, and just something about the character you don't like. So he was a really great actor, a really great performance, you know, playing this FBI agent. And I won't say what happens to him, but things don't really turn out great for that character either. And I'll just leave it at that. So with that being said, you know, I brought up there's a lot at stake in the second season. Even though the second season is doesn't have as much high tension or as fast paced as the first season. It's more of a slow burn, but it's more character development, character build up. You know, incorporating all these different groups of people with the cartel, with the mafia, the Byrdes, and other people as well. There's a lot more at stake in trying to get this casino up and running and getting it on the river on this big gambling boat, essentially. So here's a lot of great chemistry with these characters too, and this is more of a woman-driven season with Ruth and Wendy being just more of the focal points and really having standout performances, which are truly appreciated. So if you're a huge fan of the first season, I think you're really going to dive into the second season and have a great time with it. There's a lot of great occurrences that happen, deaths, as you can imagine, people not really making it out alive, and a lot of fucked up things happening leading up to which could be another season. They haven't officially announced the season 3 yet, but they kind of leave it open. I'm not going to say what happens at the end of the second season, but you can imagine if the Byrdes make it out of the Ozarks and if they make it out alive or not. Overall, I love the second season of Ozark. Jason Bateman definitely knocks it out of the park again, being a director and also actor in this show. His lack of emotion just makes you feel for his family. They have to deal with this guy that's never, you know, attached to the family. He's never there for them emotionally. He's never there physically, really. He's always out doing his own thing. You know, bringing up Wendy's character played by Linney, taking care of this family, taking care of the business, and making sure they all survive. And the kids were great, and a lot of these other characters I talked about were all fantastic. Really great cast of people, really great show. Second season, I definitely highly recommend. It's a binge-worthy show. Sit down, you're going to watch all 10 episodes probably in one or 2 days. So hopefully you guys enjoyed as much as I did. I'm going to give Ozark Season 2 a 4 out of 5 Missouri hair pieces. So what did you guys think of the second season of Ozark? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What do you think is going to happen if they have another season? Will the Byrdes survive? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myerz signing out from the sweet Southern Ozarks. Until next time, cheers!